Hello guys, welcome back. There are a few topics that I need to cover today with you, so we're going to jump right into it. Now, the main topic for today is repetition or somehow resummarization of the DCA settings that I have shown to you during this Christmas special stream. So I have shown you a number of bots, but essentially there are just three DCA settings that is behind these bots. So it's not a lot. It's now kind of my standard, and I want to re-summarize them again, repeat some of their key features, and I don't know, probably I'll need to also publish them somewhere, just for them to be in one place. So the first one, or one of the first ones that we spoke about, was this Tiny DOGE or Tiny Bot setting. And this is what I have on my screen now. The second one that I covered just yesterday was what I call wide setting that I used for trading Bitcoin. And I use my trading with about scalper signal. And I trade both USDT margin contracts, and also I trade in CoinM or inverse futures Bitcoin itself. This is the same scalper, and there are two settings that I have for that. One, as I mentioned, is called wide, and another one I call mini. So I think I need to do something about the names. The names are not very successful in my opinion. They are distinct. That's nice, but I need to improve them to really match the nature of these DCAs. And these three DCAs you are free to use and adapt. I think very little adaptation would be required, and they work basically. So that's why I want to go over them again and link them for you. Now, I also put this a bit visually here in Excel file. So the Tiny DOGE one has 6 safety orders, and these safety orders, the deviation actually shrinks and the size increases, here shown by volume. So deviation from the base order becomes smaller and smaller and smaller in percentages, almost so that there's very insignificant difference between these, fifth and sixth safety orders. So this one first is the base order, and then these are the safety orders. On the other hand, the volume grows almost exponentially, right? It doubles, almost doubles. It's volume scale 1.9. So that's the very special setting of the bot that I used to call Tiny DOGE or tiny bots. There's nothing tiny about that actually. Well, the only thing is tiny is that it starts very small. And when the markets are kind of pumping up the price, then we have very small profits. But if the bot is taking some of the safety orders, it's picking up the volume, and then the profits become more sizable. So this is one interesting and working DCA, right? These DCA settings work. That's why I'm sharing them with you. And you need to be mindful of their nature. What I like about this bot is that because it's picking up so much size, it's actually quite maneuverable. Later on, it always exits because we deviate by about here 9 or 7.9, so 8% from the base order. And that's usually enough then to exit. Required change is only 1.2% from that point. It's risky, right? So running this on futures is risky. Running this on a bad coin is risky because we are accumulating quite a large volume. The wide setting looks very proportional. I think it's one of the safest settings actually. This one I'm running on futures. I run it both on long and short. And that's that's the one that I'm also kind of telling people what to use when I have to recommend something. I minimize my own liability, and you know, if I do copy trading or signal provisioning, I give them this wide setting. And the wide setting has only 3 safety orders. You could do more, as I mentioned, but you don't need to for Bitcoin. And then the first deviation is at 2.5% from the base order, and then it increases. So that's the wide setting, and it covers almost 10%, 9.5%. Let's look again on the Excel file. It looks kind of almost parallel. The way that size increases is quite proportional the way the deviation increases. And then you could do, if you wanted, you could do fourths and fifths safety order if you're trading, for example, altcoins, which deviate more. And the third one, which is densely packed, that I called mini, it's similar to wide, but it's a bit more aggressive in how it's picking up the size and also how it's deviating. It's set closer to the base order. So the mini one, when we have good price action, when the price action is not choppy, but more or less into one direction, either bullish or bearish, the mini one is taken accumulating the size quite close to the base order. So for example, this bot that I'm showing now on my screen, it's trading in the Bitcoin. Again, it's 0.25 from the base order. And here at the current state, I am already at 7 out of 9 of safety orders because they're so densely packed, but I'm in profit. So I could either wait for my target profit to take, and this one I set to 5%. So not sure if it will reach at 5%. What I can do, I can just close this now at the market. And as I'm trading in Bitcoin, I will receive my profit also in the Bitcoin. So that's what I like about this so-called mini. So here, this is what we got, 631 Satoshi on the deal. We got 1.44% of the profit. So these are the 3 settings that I have. Mini and wide are very similar in the way they are proportionally growing. I really like that proportionality. I think it's much safer than what I had in this Tiny DOGE, where this grows exponentially and this decreases. Well, it works, you know, this bot still works, but I think it has a different risk profile. And if you look at the wide and mini, again, they're very similar. So the only difference is how stretched the DCA is. And that is something you can already adjust yourself and suit based on maybe market profile. If the markets may be kind of appearing to be uncertain, there's a lot of fear, then you put this at the wider scale. For example, even you could increase this from 2.5, you could go to 5. That is fine as well, because here then you would cover a bigger range, and you're still increasing your size proportionally. So these are the 3 DCA settings that I use with my bots. And then you could actually use various deal start conditions. You could try my signal, you could try somebody else's signal, you can try to come up with your own deal start condition, RSI. This is something that is fun to experiment with. The thing is that you don't need to worry so much about DCA. You can really take these ones, either this one or this one that I've shown, or both of them, and start testing your own deal start conditions. So don't spend so much time thinking, what should be the DCA setting to use. These are the ones that I tested and they work. Okay, now I have just one more topic to cover for today's session. And I want to go back to discussion of subscription. And I also want to discuss the codes that I've been showing you and giving you. Subscription. 3Commas changes their subscription every half a year or so. I've seen how they change their model. From what I can see now, so now we have the 50% sale. This is very good, really. And from what I can see now, this beginner plan seems to be also very good. So we've been talking about the Pro plan, and I've been giving you the codes about for the Pro plan. And if you have a large wallet size, you trade big volume, and you can spend a bit on your subscription, go for Pro or even Expert or even Lifetime. But if you own a budget, if you don't have that much money, look, this beginner goes for $4 a month, and you can have essentially 5 single pair DCA bots. So you can choose 5 good coins to run and take one of the bots that I showed you, and it will work for you for $4 a month. So that would be my recommendation. And now going back to the codes, that was the part of the videos that I was always showing you. I need to apologize to you because the codes that I was given, now I'm putting all of the codes at once for the last 7 episodes plus the 8th one. So I learned just now that they are not totally free, they are not completely free, they are 90% discounted. So you could take one of these codes, if it's still free, check them, and buy 1 month of Pro subscription, and it would cost you probably around $5 or $6 to run with the Pro. It's not as good as free. I was thinking it's free, so I misunderstood. I do apologize for that, but I still think that's a fairly good deal for you. And to be very transparent with you, we have only a few possibilities for a bot platform. So there's Miser. I spoke about Miser a lot. There's 3Commas, and there are a few new entrants on the market. You're welcome to try them all, but you will pay something there. For Miser, you will pay volume fees or performance fees. For 3Commas, there's a flat fee. So if you end up trading large volume, that could be more beneficial for you. Anyway, that's just a commentary. I know probably those of you who watch my videos are already having an account, but in case you don't, you can give it a try. These bots, I'll leave the 3 links below, this, that one, and that one. And I will probably need to rename them a bit better description, and I will publish an article on my blog. One last thing, I want to thank those of you, all right, I thank all of you who watch my videos or support me one way or another, but a special, really special thanks for those of you who actually bought me coffee. There's a few of you here who somehow decided, take out your credit card and buy me a cup of coffee. And it just feels special. So thank you for this. It really it feels different. So thanks for appreciating my work. With this, talk to you tomorrow. Bye.